Hello, and welcome back to a very, very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast. So pull up a seat, take a bite, and get ready to dive into that brine for episode
29?
29. Well, no, wait.
Yeah.
No, because there's gonna 30. Episode 30. This is gonna be episode 30 because there's gonna be a bite-sized in between.
All right.
Yeah, it's
episode 30
of the Pickle Jar Podcast.
Tell me who you are.
My name is Ryan Sullivan.
And my name is Keaton Ashby.
Now, this is our second back-in-person episode to hold you back for a little while. And now, if you notice, Jamie, pull up the couch shot. As you can see, we have an empty couch over there because we have two very, very special guests on this episode of the podcast. There's a bug in here. He just flew in front of the light.
Never mind that bug. Let's get down to these special guests of ours. Coming up first, we have the legendary, also known as, the legendary. Also, my sister, Heidi Ashby. Woo! Give us a spin. All right, have a seat.
Have a seat. Have a seat right over there.
Now, this is a very special episode, just like every episode is a very special episode, because we have a second guest coming in next. My fiance now, Marley Wilson.
Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure always having you two on.
Yes.
I still think that one of our best episodes was episode 12, the Marley Heidi episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually going to have to name this one instead of just calling it the Marley Heidi episode.
Yes.
Because the last one was just called that. So
yeah, I think I have a good name for this episode.
The
what?
Marley Heidi episode.
No.
Instead of Heidi.
Well,
Maybe.
Part 2.
The Ashby sisters in law.
Oh.
That's weird.
How about Night Moves?
What does that mean?
You know,
Well,
you've never heard that
this
Phil Collins song before? Night. Oh wait, no.
Bob Seger.
Oh, my bad. Wait, no, it wasn't.
Demonetized?
Wait, no.
Bob Seger. It's a little too tall, got to lose a few
Oh,
pounds.
Bob Saget.
No, that's
from
not-
Full
that's
House.
Not Bob's one. Okay, wait.
Pretty sure it was Phil Collins.
Gain you guys
Hey,
over
fact
now.
checker, can you look up who sang the song Night Moves?
Bob Seger. I can
What
guarantee
song?
you.
Night Moves.
Night Moves.
Yes.
I can guarantee
I can
you.
guarantee you it
Bob
wasn't.
Seger. Bob spelled S-E-G-E-R.
You know,
Bob Seger.
working on those night
Night
moves.
moves.
It is Bob Seger and the
See?
Silver Bullet Band.
Oh,
See, I'm a smart cookie.
you got it. You got it.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm talking
Oh, I'm
about.
sorry. I'm a bit of a. But we will. We will ignore that
get
factor.
it.
As you guys simmer.
Oh, great.
As
That's
you all
wonderful.
can probably notice, I'm sitting far away from Marley this time because if you all have watched episode 12 of that podcast, you would know that she spit on me.
Yes, or if you watched our first podcast highlight, don't get out the water bottle.
Look how nice this water
She came prepared.
It's girthy.
She's looking for some distance here, ladies and gentlemen.
I just thought I'd show you that.
Oh, thank you very much, Marley.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
I love seeing large objects.
what?
What?
Okay, I didn't hear a word of that, and I don't know if I'm glad I did or not. So, Heidi, let's start off with you. So, this is a very interesting week, because as far as you knew, only Marley was going to be here this week.
Yeah,
So yeah, I want you to go ahead and kind of explain what all happened when we were at the airport to pick up Marley only.
Okay, so like I was planning to pick up just Marley because she's been telling us for months she's coming into town. Well, I never thought in a million years there would be someone with her. So it was me, my cousin Kathleen, and Ryan in the car. And I was like, hey Marley, do you care if Ryan comes because he really wants to see you? And she's like, yeah, I just don't know if we have enough room for the luggage. And I'm like, you have one bag, but like we have a trunk. But not knowing the other luggage is 208 pounds or whatever. And so we
208 pounds now? 206, actually.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
104. Look at that. Look at that. All right,
And
continue.
so we get to the airport, and Marley's like, "All right, we landed." And
No, I landed.
She said I landed. Like, it was literally, I pulled in. I was waiting for her to walk to the car, and all of a sudden, I just see this big man walking towards us, and I'm like, "Is that my brother?" Like, it slipped in my mind. I was like, "There's no way that's my brother." And then it finally clicked, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Keaton." And then I like ran out and hugged him.
And she was crying and bawling her eyes out.
Okay, we don't need the details.
Insert video.
I was just so happy to see Marley. So it was a great
difficult for me to
time.
edit, Keaton.
Thank you, Ryan, for inserting that wonderful
Like,
clip.
little backstory. It's very hard for Keaton to get time off from his job.
Yeah.
So no one expected him to
From
come.
his
The
job
school.
at the school.
Yeah, since school just started, it was really hard to get time off.
Yeah, especially.
So like I wasn't expecting to
Grading
see him
papers all
until
summer, doing
March.
corrections.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
So, Marley, how did the whole plan come up to get Keaton down here?
Well, I mean, I had planned to come in August before I started school anyway. So I was like, oh, like the first week of August, that's Sean's birthday, that's James' birthday, we'll hang out with friends, it'll be fun. And like I said, just me. And then I was like, Keaton, would it be possible if you could come too? Maybe. And he's like, no. But like, I'm like,
That was a perfect impression.
Could you just like ask and see if you can get any time off? He's like, well, the 16th through the 21st, I could come. I'm like, okay, we'll go then. But we're not going to tell your family. We're going to surprise them. Does that sound fun? He's like, yeah. So we pretty much told everyone except Keaton's family that he was coming.
But like the grandparents knew. It was just like
Yeah.
the parents, me, and my brother and his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me, like right before we recorded our first bite-sized, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did nobody spill the beans?
Oh, I
just
tell you,
have
it
to
was
be-
very difficult.
you have to
It
be a
was-
very
it
good
was
liar.
extremely difficult.
It wasn't
You
difficult.
guys
I
are
was like,
really
oh.
good at like just not telling secrets.
Just bought my plane ticket.
Hollywood,
Keaton's really upset he can't come.
He's gonna be doing
That's literally-
yard work all week.
I literally am in the car with Ryan, and he knows, and I did not know
There's
that he
literally
knows.
okay when
And
you're
I'm
trying
like,
when you're trying to surprise someone, it's so difficult. Like you have to think of every little detail. Like Keaton, did you turn your ghost mode on Snapchat? You turn your location on.
yeah, 'cause my mom tried.
Did you come up with an excuse if you miss any phone calls because you're on the plane? So, but I mean, she had no idea. His mother had no idea, and it
No.
was really fun.
Now, Keaton, were there any points where you're like, I think that this, okay, the whole thing of keeping it a surprise and keeping it from everybody, did that ever become difficult, especially with all of Marley's plans on keeping it a secret?
No, not at all.
Because I know there were a couple things that when we were driving, Marley had said that you said it's like, well, we don't need to do that, stuff like that.
Oh, well, she would be like, I don't know. It was a little too extra. There were some things that were a little too extra that I was like, I know these people. I know how they are. I would not think that they would ever do that.
I disagree. I'm very good at finding.
Tristan
things
and
out.
Haley knew.
So Haley
They-
found
No,
out.
they figured it out.
They figured it
They
out.
figured it out with your text.
Well, it's because you
Yeah.
told me you have a surprise for them.
Well, I texted them. I was like, "Could you guys come over? I have
Play
something
with your
for you."
shirt. I can hear it.
Sorry.
Also, flip your color.
I keep doing that. This is a.
Thank you.
No, but like, okay.
Maybe
when
just
you-
button the top
If you
button.
have a PlayStation, when someone that you are friends with is on PlayStation, it says Keaton is online. So I said, Keaton, don't say you've been playing video games all day because they're gonna know if you're online or not. Heidi will ask you to play with her.
I would have asked to play Minecraft.
Yeah, so I'm like, don't
that's
say
a
you're
valid
doing.
thing.
It's like one time, I think it was last year, I came to surprise Keaton for his last football game.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Texas, he lived here. But no, I literally went to, because I worked at Red Lobster, I was a waitress, and I was like, oh, I'm working a double today. And so I made stickers on Snapchat the day before.
So real.
I made stickers and I like sent them to him on Snapchat, making it look like I was at work while he was at school. He came home from school. I was sitting on his bed when he gets home. Well, that sounded bad. I'm sorry. I was just sitting in his room.
were you now?
I was sitting in his room as he walked in, And he just looked at me. He's like, "You're supposed to be at work in Texas."
Turns around, slams the door on her face, and walks out. It was so funny.
I gotta say, every man loves that surprise. But another thing is, nobody ever texts me or calls me or wants to play Minecraft with me ever.
Because I know when Marley's in town, like when you two are around, you don't play video games. It's only when she's out of town.
Wow.
That is true.
Thank you for backing me up on that.
That's some scientific.
Because you want to spend your time with her, which you should.
Okay, but then Marley was out of town, so you would have been able to.
Right, so I literally was like, oh, I'll play
but
Minecraft.
Marley was needing to be picked up at that time.
That's an even better point. It's not like she would have asked Keaton to play PlayStation.
Let's go play
while
video
she's in
games
the
when
car.
Marley is sitting at the airport.
While she's in the car.
I think you are very smart to say that.
I literally did not even think of that until right now.
Okay, I left at 10 o'clock in the morning. I
okay.
didn't get into Marco until 6 o'clock.
See, that's
so
true.
There's
That's
a little
true.
bit of a chunk in between.
Yeah.
So
This is a smart woman.
yeah.
Keaton could have just been at work.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, he was doing yard work, according to Marley. She's like, oh, yeah, Keaton's
Trimming
gonna
the
do
hedges.
Yard work for the next 2 days.
Anyway, so
Mowing the lawn.
I took.
I'm gonna sit.
You took every precaution.
applesauce.
Well, I was
And
gonna
it
say
worked.
I videoed like the whole entire thing. So if you want to check out my vlog channel, Marley Wilson.
So
Wow.
I'll promote.
They're
it.
actually really good videos.
There you go.
Keaton, what were your thoughts on the plane on the way over?
I was thinking it's hot in here. I'm getting a headache. I just want to do nothing and I just want to land. Because that ride on that plane was horrible. It was hot in there. So I wasn't really thinking about it.
Talking to the mic a
Why are
little
you
bit.
touching my tip? Well, I wasn't thinking about anything else.
Foamy.
I
I
wasn't
love that name.
Foamy.
So this is what
FOMO.
happened.
I wasn't thinking about anything else but then landing because of how hot the plane was.
We had a 2.5 hour plane ride, and I have the iPhone where you can't listen to music and charge your phone at the same time. So, because I don't have the AirPods, I'm not.
Get
fancy like that.
AirPods.
Yeah, I probably should get some.
They're the first generation are not expensive anymore.
Or get the Beats.
Well,
Yeah.
Pods are very nice.
I
You can get a pair of
don't
Beats
like-
for
use
like
it
I don't
80
like,
bucks.
I don't like spending money on things like that. But anyway, so
Well, if I get new AirPods, I'll give you my AirPods.
okay, cool.
Because I'm thinking about sanitize them. Q-tip them up.
Yeah.
Alcohol wipes.
So anyway, I had to
Gentlemen.
plug in my phone. I couldn't listen to music anymore. So I was sitting there, no music, and I look at Keaton.
Bless
We had
you.
about an hour left before we landed, and I took off his headphones. I was like, I'm bored. Can you talk to me?
That's so cute.
And we're like, I don't know. So
I was like, if I haven't talked to you for this long, what makes you think I want to talk to you for the rest? Oh! No, I'm joking. I wanted to talk to her. And we had a great conversation about how much time we had
I
left.
thought about how we were gonna surprise his mom.
Yeah. And it turns out all those ideas were complete crap because Ryan came up with a great idea.
Right in 2 seconds. Gets
Yeah.
the
No,
best
now
idea.
here's the thing. Here's
It
the
was a
thing.
joke.
That was a joke. It was a
I know.
complete joke. I was not planning on actually doing that. But for those of you at home, what we decided to do is I had parked my car at work, which is about a block away from Keaton and Heidi's house. So they dropped me and Keaton off at my workplace so that we could get into my car, and then we drive around the block, wait for Tristan and Haley to get home, and then that is when I would pull up and I'd call and say, hey, can I come say hi to Marley or whatever, put me on speaker. It's like I'm coming up the driveway, and then I would go, hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast. So pull up a seat, take a bite, and get ready to dive into that brine for episode, whatever number I said, of the Pickle Jar Podcast. My name is Ryan Sullivan, and then at that moment, Keaton would burst through the door
Kool-Aid manned it.
and say,
Oh, wait. And I'm Keaton Ashby.
Well, you did more of them like, and I'm Keaton Ashby.
Yeah.
You should insert that clip because we also.
Oh, you got that clip?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good clip.
That's why I
My
said you were
mom's
going to need to
reaction.
edit that in there. And you're like,
Why'd
oh,
you
I don't want to
just
edit
do
that in
that?
there. There's
My
so much
mom's
more.
like, no way! And then she like goes and just hugs Keaton. It was so cute, her reaction.
Oh, that's
Could
great.
I like play the audio on my phone or should I just wait?
No, we'll
No,
just
just wait.
we'll just
You'll
play it.
insert the
Yeah,
clip.
we'll insert it.
It's
Mom said come right in. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast. My name is Ryan Sullivan.
And I am Keaton Ashby. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh! I thought I heard your voice and I'm like, no. I can't. Oh my god!
Hi.
I can't believe this. I'm like, don't go to bed yet. How did this happen?
How did this happen?
Oh my god!
Well, a long time ago, there was a mommy and a daddy. You want the full story?
Is that well? Oh, okay. I totally. Did you tell them?
No.
Tell who?
Tristan Haley?
I like the shirt. Thank you.
I know.
Wait, what's that?
Of course
I'm
you
button
Wait,
down.
what day is it? I'm so confused. I'm taking time.
really good.
One day that will be a screen, and we'll be able to play it up there.
We can like
But-
point to it.
in the
Like a
distant
teacher.
future.
The stupid board.
Oh, we got to,
Oh yeah.
are we allowed to talk about
What?
Rock Island Academy?
Yeah, we talk about it all the
Okay,
time.
okay.
The three of us got to go today and
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah. How did it? Oh, yeah. We haven't talked anything about the new building because we haven't had any reason to talk about the school
It was special.
recently.
Well, we got
Ryan, you
some
should be a sports announcer there.
insights.
Mm-hmm.
As in, we got to visit.
It's like a school now.
It's
Yeah, I
really
know,
cool, and it was really pretty. And my favorite part was the big manta ray mural under the staircase.
That was
Oh,
My
very nice.
favorite part was the stage and the gym.
Oh, that was really cool.
my favorite part was literally like the Dr. Evil room.
What's the Dr.
Oh.
Evil
It's the
room?
board meeting room, and they have a long table with a
Oh,
chair at the
yeah.
end of
And the
it.
windows
And
in
they have
it
a
look
screen,
over the
And
gymnasium.
the windows look
It's
over
like
the
bougie.
gymnasium.
Ryan, I got a video of it. I'll send
It's
it to
really
you.
cool.
Can I insert it in, or is that
Yeah.
top secret?
They have
Okay,
they have
cool.
an intercom in the middle with like a whole bunch of like buttons on it.
Yeah. We
So-
have one of those.
I didn't
I feel
know
like
what it
it's
was.
literally-
I was like, cute.
I feel like it's literally like the Dr. Evil room. Like
You
I
know-
feel like Miss Scott's gonna like click a button
Yeah.
and send someone down to like a pit of fire.
Yeah, Miss Scott will press a button, and then we never saw Scalia again. But
Then it smelled like eggs.
I didn't get that.
What?
I didn't get
eggs?
that.
Why eggs?
No.
I would say rotten coffee would be a better representation.
The building actually smelled like fresh paint and wood chips because they're still under construction.
It's not. I was referencing the fact that Scalia still hasn't cleaned his coffee cup that he's had for the past 20 years.
I
of
forgot about
teaching.
That's kind of
Oh,
gross.
no.
I got a sub Butler today.
You know what's what was funny? So Scalia posted on his Facebook, because Cassie follows Scalia on Facebook, and he said, it's like, this is my 21st year of teaching. Does this mean that I can drink in the classroom now? And then Benjamin Santana commented on it, only if you clean out that coffee cup. So, anyway.
That's good. That's
So,
good.
did you get like a full tour of the school?
Yes.
We did.
Well, that's awkward.
Did you get a full tour of the school, or like, tell me a little bit about that?
So,
So go ahead. Oh, sorry.
sorry. My dad is who gave us the tour because he's like the school resource officer there. And so he literally showed us everything on each floor. We got to see the different offices that like admin has. And then we didn't see any teachers on the first floor because like a lot of them are newer ones, so we didn't know any of them. Then the second floor came around and we went to Mr. Butler's room. And I didn't have him as a teacher, but Keaton did, and Keaton's like buddy. He was like the nicest welcome.
Well,
like,
he was a teacher
so
and a
genuinely
coworker.
excited to see Keaton.
Was it his off period, or?
Yes, and
Yes.
Mr. Miller was in there,
Oh,
and
very
he's just
nice.
like, alright, like it was so funny.
We also did get to see Mr. Eater. He did
Yes.
have a class, but like obviously he doesn't
He needed
care.
a bathroom break, so he stopped in for Butler to go to Eater's room.
Literally
Ah.
came
And so
into
we all
Butler's room.
migrated over to Eater's room together,
Mm.
and we saw Mikey White. That was so fun.
And Kira Swanson.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
still have this Napoleon Dynamite toy in the back of my car.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Totten works there now?
I do.
He's
do.
the
I was
arts
talking
teacher.
with Mr. James PM about that. Yeah.
I wanted to stop in and say hi to him too, but he had a class, and my dad was like, "I really don't want you disturbing the classes." Makes sense.
Disturbing.
Makes
Except
sense.
Mr. Eater is an exception. 'cause,
That was
like,
different because Eater came to
It's
us.
yeah.
Well, no, Eater just
Eater sensed
It-
the presence.
like we.
He's so chill.
Eater
like,
listens, so.
I mean, I literally had him for 4 years straight, at least one class every semester. So
What's hilarious is I've never had an Eater class, but I'm still like kind of close with Eater.
I had
You never
him-
had one Eater class?
Never had one Eater class. I mean, for
Wow.
freshman year, half the year had mentoring with them.
I had mentoring with him for freshman year.
Yeah, I know.
We were mentoring together.
Yes, Heidi, we
remember
had the same
James.
schedule.
We had identical schedule, yes, because we had Mr. Link for like 3 of our periods or something.
We
you know?
we had Miss Castillo, then we had biology,
Mhm.
then we
Oh,
had
yes.
Link, but then it became Scalia Dayet.
Right, because all the
Mhm.
teachers were like leaving.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy?
What's crazy?
We
I
finished each
think I
other's.
had Mr. Eater not for 9 classes
Like in total?
in
Or
total. So
I think I had Dayet for like 8.
I had Mr. Eater
I
for
had
one.
Jay at the most. He was but he was like, that was one of my,
and you
every
know,
class, perfect class.
every class that I had, it was kind of similar curriculum because it was all an art class
I know,
or
two
photography
classes.
class
Right.
or something like that. But I learned so much from him, like just like about life. Like I just learned so much from him.
Oh, and about
Also
the
about
Beatles
art
too.
too, but like
What about that psychology class?
psychology too.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
Weren't you in that class?
That one was
Yes,
different.
I still use like when I relate the thing or like when I'm
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
when
wish I was.
diagnosing or like reading people. I use the
When-
Floyd's
when someone makes
Sigmund
like a
Floyd's
bathroom joke, like
descriptions.
oh,
I'd-
you're in the anal stage because you made a bathroom joke.
Oh, I know people in the anal stage.
Do you know what the anal stage is?
I didn't take psychology.
is it-
I really
I
wanted
was
to, but
not
I
able
didn't.
to.
If you look up like what is it, Sigmund Freud?
Oh yeah, Freud.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the phallic stage.
Oh yeah. No, I know all about Freud and his things. Like
It's 5 stages of life.
Yes.
he's a crazy man.
That's not nice.
Is that
Sigmund Freud.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
He's a German man.
We were told before we weren't allowed to discuss certain things on the podcast, and I'm like, is that one of the ones?
That's
The rules of the podcast
scientific.
for those of you who at home who aren't
Was I
familiar.
allowed to
talk
The
about-
rules
I don't know.
are number 1, don't be racist, and number 2, the worst words that you can say are dang and heck in the correct context.
Oh. Can you bullet point that, please?
Oh, so I
What
should
we-
have said
What'd you say?
talk about the 5 stages.
Now?
No, the
Well,
5
that's-
stages are
that's
fine.
you're
I mean,
not
I feel like
swearing.
you
Listen,
teach about it in
have
school,
have
it's
you
okay.
all listened
Yeah.
to the Spotify episodes?
No.
Oh well, I mean, we get a little bit more like
I've listened to almost every podcast.
we get a little bit more like into it on the bite-sized episodes, which is a great reason that if you're only watching on YouTube, you should go listen to some of the bite-sized.
You.
You listening at home. Don't out of focus that thing. Come on. It's like so definitely. I zoomed
Sorry.
in on your face when you shook it, just so you know.
Sorry, I like watching the YouTube because it really just captures
Wait, did
See,
you
it.
that's the
hear
thing.
what we
There's
said?
2 different. Yes,
Are you okay?
You're awful, right?
You're an abusive fiance.
And then she left.
Wait, no.
Wait, please put clapping hands as she walks off stage.
This is for not supporting the podcast. My hopes and dreams are living here.
If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you better hope
I
this
demand
becomes
a-
successful.
And you better hope you don't make tuna casserole 2 nights in a row.
Or he's about to go 1950s husband.
You think I make food?
Wait, what was my line?
Your
Fried
quesadillas.
tomatoes.
Oh, no.
Quesadillas are
Oh my God.
Just like your mother.
You know what's funny? That's funny that you talked about your quesadillas. Why'd you flinch? All right. Anyway,
I'm very sensitive. To
Now that
Is there something you need to tell us?
we're
Does
talking
he beat you?
no, we're talking about Marley's
Yeah,
quesadillas.
often.
What?
Go ahead, Marley's case.
Marley's
What about
Quesadillas.
him?
Marley's Quesadillas are like the best. that wasn't funny.
It wasn't even
That wasn't funny. Mar-
Quesadillas.
Marley's quesadillas are like the best quesadillas. Ladies and gentlemen, she has like this what kind of chicken is it that you have?
Well, my
That your
mom
mom
makes
makes-
the chicken. It's
Whatever.
Like, it's just like shredded chicken in a Instapot with like peppers and onions and fajita seasoning and
Still,
butter.
she
and
she
good.
takes it out and she throws it on the pan with the quesadilla. She sprinkles cheese and then she puts Cholula on it and cooks it. And oh my goodness, it is so
None
good.
of you were in my voice and diction class.
Are you about to talk about how you're the best quesadilla maker in the
I'm-
sandwich with it? Or
It says on my
It's
resume
like-
that I cook very good
I told you
quesadillas.
this, Keaton.
I know,
I
Mr.
said
Literally
that
when
Ryan was
And
gonna
I
get
forgot to
mad.
take it off when I
But-
gave it to Andre.
well, you realize that Butler had the whole class look at your resume, and we all got to see that you
Yeah.
are a good quesadilla maker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying these
But-
quesadillas are rivaling yours.
Because, okay, we're going to have a cook-off.
Can you make them gluten-free so I can participate?
Yeah, I can. I have gluten-free tortillas.
Corn
at home.
tortillas.
Wait, I've got the carb-free ones. I think they're gluten-free, too.
They probably are.
Yeah, but
Anything
I'll
like
have to check.
healthy is like
Um,
gluten-free.
Mhm. But so my main focus is shrimp quesadillas because the thing is, I really only like shrimp when they're in a quesadilla.
So
Ryan, you
I
were-
would never
I don't like
shrimp.
I don't
Shrimp
like
is
shrimp
disgusting.
scampi. Well, here's
Do you
the
like
thing.
shrimp?
I don't like shrimp. I hate shrimp even more when I'm the one cooking it because then I have to peel it.
Yeah.
And
Ew,
it's like,
ew, ew.
Do you make sure you deep poop it, right?
yeah, I do poop it.
Okay, good.
Of course I do poop it.
Some
No,
people
poop it.
Some
It's
people
not a vein. It's poop.
Some people
the
did
poop
not
chute.
know to remove the poop.
I knew that, but I was like, I always thought that because it was called deveining, that it was just like a
It's
vein.
not a vein.
It's sadly what it really is.
It's a
I
poop chute.
don't like shrimp.
So
I've
those
had
of you
it.
listening at home, just so you know,
We're gonna take a step
if
to
you are
biology.
it is not deveining a shrimp. You are de-pooping a shrimp.
Yeah.
The shrimp has poop in it.
It's the brown line.
One time there was a shrimp that must have been fairly constipated when I peeled it, and there were copious amounts of shrimp poop on my hands. Like a surprising amount for a shrimp.
And you ate this?
Well, I ended up eating it after I washed the poop out of it.
I mean, if you think about it.
Okay, that's gonna be
I
a
have no
quote on the
argument here.
Instagram. I haven't had a good quote yet. That's mine.
That's a good one.
That's mine.
So
Marley.
throughout the podcast, you should read your quotes off.
Marley. Oh, that is
They're
Okay, listen,
hilarious.
I have some really, really funny quotes. So I have not the best memory in the world. So whenever I hear someone say
Dory.
something that makes me laugh like a lot, I'm like, let me write this down. So I have like
Oh,
years,
I forgot about this.
years worth of quotes.
Yes.
And I think Anthony Politi, or
He might have been the one that started.
I think
Because
Anthony or maybe like Rachel started something like this, and I kind of copied her. So shout out to
Yeah,
her.
I started doing it too, but I
Yeah.
forget. Like the first one on there was when you tried to say alumni for the first time.
say alumni.
You
Say
can
it.
say alumni, fine.
alumni.
But if he's reading it,
Alumni.
no,
Aluminum.
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 At least it wasn't aluminium.
Aluminium.
Like Harvey
My
says.
favorite one is your
Do we
mother's.
really want to get Marley going right now and blow out everybody's eardrums?
Yeah,
All right, let's go.
yeah. I can
Read
fix
us a
it.
good quote.
Oh, I gotta think of like action.
Read a quote of a person here.
That's
That might take a little while.
No, actually, surprisingly,
a lot
we
of
have.
them are from Logan Scalia because he's just the funniest
Oh.
person.
He's the best.
Oh, my favorite quote from Logan. This I was laughing for the entire class period after he said this. He was impersonating an old man at the time, and he goes, "Back in my day, we didn't make statues. All we did is we found a rock that kind of looked like you, and that was it."
That's so cute.
That was hilarious, and I still think that that's one of the funniest jokes.
He's
I've
really
ever
one of the funniest people I know.
heard. And it comes out of nowhere too.
Yes,
a lot.
like his
'Cause,
timing is just so good.
I have 3 from Logan right here. One of them I can't say out loud, but he goes, "One day I'm gonna graduate." That's like that was it. It was
That's it?
He was just sitting like in the middle of
Oh, he was
nothing.
He didn't say anything
He-
before that or
no.
after that. I hope.
And I
Logan
can
watches
say this
episode.
because Logan and I are friends, but and then he also said, "I'm scared of corn."
Oh,
Just
that's
out of
my
nowhere.
fault. That's my fault.
The husking.
Can we get a little bit of context?
Yeah,
Like the people at home don't even know
in,
who this is.
We had film. I had film class with Logan, and he was in my group. And James and I were like the senior leaders of the group. So like technically we ran it. And James was like, "Oh, let's be the corny club," just because it's stupid. It's like an actual piece of corn, the corny club. And so every film we made, there was always corn incorporated in it. And Logan hates corn. And so, like, I don't know, you say the word corn, and he would literally get so mad at us. So that is where that comes from.
Wow.
So Mr. Day was talking about the rules, like for, like things you can't have. He says, no phones in class. Next year, there's no Apple Watches, or maybe not even any earbuds or anything. Mr. Day said that. Logan said, "What's next? No air."
Did he say it just like that? So like,
He,
what's
like,
next? No air?
You know how dramatic
Yeah, no,
he
I
is.
do.
It's so cute.
Wow.
Nicole Politi said she was picking up my cat because I got a kitten. She goes, "Does this thing have herpes? I mean, rabies?" Heidi said, "Storm has nipples?" Because Heidi didn't know that dogs have
He's
nipples.
a male dog. I didn't realize.
Male
and
humans have nipples.
I understand now that males have nipples, but
Do you know why men have nipples?
because they're
We don't
originally
care.
a girl until the Y chromosome happens, and then they're a man.
Yes.
Yeah, I took biology. I know.
So we all got a little female in us.
Yeah.
My mom has
Nice
some
one.
funny ones.
Her
You might have
moms
some
are the
extra,
best,
too.
and she won't read them all.
Okay, I'll read
That
my
was
The
funny,
Starbucks
good.
one.
So, my dad gets paid every 2 weeks, and we're a little low on money. So my mom will just be like, "Oh, like don't spend any money until tomorrow." So she said, "I have $7 to my name," and then she said, "Would it be bad if I get coffee with my last $7?" Starbucks.
It's such a mood.
Or what? Because if you buy a drink from Starbucks, it's like $7.
Really? I had no clue.
Yeah.
That's why we go
Price
to Dunkin'
gouging.
Donuts.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is far superior.
Turn away from your mic if you're going to do that again,
My
please.
mic's like way over here.
Yeah.
And these are all from Anthony.
Oh, that was
When
even
he-
worse.
When he buries you alive.
Just don't cough.
Just girly things. When he force feeds you baby carrots, just girly
Just silly
things.
things.
When he punts you through a field goal, just girly things.
All right.
We're talking about domestic violence here. If you did not know at home. All right, let's throw away the quotes for now and talk about something serious like this.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I really want to hear? So
A lot of these are inappropriate. so I
on
can't really
the last episode of Bite Sized before the back in person thing. This was episode
Yes.
27 of Bite Sized, called A Special Announcement. I believe that's what it was called. Keaton told the story of the engagement. Now, anyone who doesn't listen to the Bite Sized hasn't heard this story. Now, you can go back and listen to Keaton's side. However, I would really like to hear your side, Marley.
My side?
Yes, your side of the story about that whole day from start to finish.
Okay. Well, so...
Make it juicy.
I'm going to
Yikes.
compare discrepancies.
Keaton and I had planned to go on a nice date and dress up, you know. I mean, dress up. So we went to a nice restaurant, and you know, I was kind of expecting it at some point in time. So I was like, oh, tonight would be a good night. It'd be fun. We're at a nice restaurant, and then we walked around downtown. I was like, oh, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna pop a question? No. So we're driving home. And I'm like, okay, tonight's not the night, but that's okay. We had a good night. We pull into our house, and Keaton's like, I gotta take down the trash. And I'm like, oh, I can help you because we have 2 trash cans. So we roll down the trash can.
She did take the bait.
We roll down the trash cans, and then I'm walking back to get in the truck so we can drive home. And I turn around, and he's like, hey, Mar, I have a question. I was like, what? I was like, wait, is that real? I always...
Show the camera.
You can't
Show this
run
cat.
up to it and be like,
No, don't do
Oh.
that. It's focused on you. So I'll just zoom in. See? Look at that. See?
You
It's
can
real.
zoom in that much?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He literally just went, "Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?" and like had the ring sitting there like that.
Well, I turned
I had a
around and he
box.
was on one knee. And
Classic.
like,
Oh, he was on one knee.
Yeah,
It
he
was
was
a
on-
wood box.
No, he was on one knee, and
Had a cushion.
These are the details.
the garbage cans were behind him, and I was just like, wow, this is so us.
He waited all night.
You know, I told him, I'm like, I don't want it to be in front of people. I don't want anyone to be recording it because I record like every moment of my life. I love
I
like,
feel that.
yeah, I mean, like, I love like taking pictures and videos, but like, I was like, no, like, don't
I
record.
did it when she least expected it.
Taking out the
Literally, I was like, I literally expected it like every day, like for it to happen, but that I did not expect it at that
Yeah,
moment,
see? So it was perfectly
then
timed. Stop
didn't you-
messing with it. It hurts my ears.
I'm wearing a flannel, and I don't know what to do about that.
Oh, we're gonna need to
Just leave
replace
it.
Heidi.
Just leave it.
Yeah. All right. Get Haley in here. You're out.
Oh,
I don't get it.
The other HMA.
The other Ashby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Get Amy in
now
here.
that Keaton and Marley are engaged, I'm like the only Ashby to just kind of be chilling right now. Because my older brother and his wife, they're expecting a baby, and
Wow.
Keaton and Marley are engaged, and then I'm just like, hey guys, not much is going on.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Some may say that sucks.
Yeah,
You know, but others may say it is what it is.
it is what it is.
And it really do just simply be like that sometimes. They don't really think it be like it is. However, and not many people will tell you this,
Mhm.
but it do.
You're really helping me.
I'm really trying to fight through this migraine right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It feels like my
Oh,
eyeballs are
Marley.
just being like
We can always take you out
stabbed
back.
into my head right now.
Do I have a blindfold?
No, that wouldn't help. I
I'll
mean,
I can take you out back like I do to the snakes.
Oh my. Marley's had she's had a migraine all day today and it won't go away. And she's taken like everything for it.
Well,
we're gonna power through it.
We're 30 minutes in, so we're doing good.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like miserable. It's just like
You're just lightly
It's just
suffering.
it's unfortunate.
She
that-
can't give you her full attention.
well,
that's unfortunate.
Have you guys heard of cluster headaches?
Yeah, Cassie was just telling me about this like earlier
That's
this
like my
week.
biggest fear.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
Cassie
that.
gets cluster headaches.
Really?
it's
Uh-huh.
a cluster
Can we
headache.
please define?
Okay.
Oh no, we're not doing this again. Where we're defining something on the podcast.
I'm just gonna
Do
look
Do
it
you
up.
Basically-
refuse to concede?
Basically, it's just
And
like
just utter blankness.
Let's just make
crossed
Heidi
her
look like
mind.
an idiot.
Okay.
How about we just look up the dictionary?
Yeah, go ahead. Well,
definition?
Heidi is the official fact checker for this podcast, so
Yes.
Bouts of frequent attacks, known as cluster periods, may last for weeks to months.
Oh, so only females can get
Usually
them.
followed by long periods of relief remissions. During remissions, attacks may stop for months or years. It is common, more than 200,000 U.S. cases per year.
But people have compared it to like getting like nails like
Ugh,
stuck into your eyeball, like
Yeah.
the pain level.
so
That's fine.
ew.
It's like
I've
the
seen
thing
worse.
is, it can vary in severity, like how long it actually lasts and how bad it is too. Like Cassie's don't last anywhere near as long as most people's do.
Oh yeah,
It's
Like,
in the
Um,
eyeball,
Yeah,
because like migraine.
It's on one.
Well,
side.
it's a type of migraine, I think. I
It
don't
is.
know.
So like migraines, it's saying like it's like your whole half of the head. And you know when you get a migraine, you really feel it in your eyes. But the cluster headache
Yeah.
is like just directly that
Well,
one
I think
eye.
I've only ever gotten a migraine once, and that was when I went off my diet.
I've had like a million.
You know, here's the Keaton. Have you ever had a migraine?
Oh, I have migraines all the time.
Do you? Okay, because here's the thing.
They run in our family.
I have a migraine.
I rarely
And my
hear
pain rise from up, down, and side.
I rarely hear men complain about migraines. Because like me
Okay.
and my dad
I don't complain. I
don't
just
get
pop
migraines.
pills.
Like
Tristan gets them all the time.
Oh.
So to me, it's actually I hear Tristan get them. So men, in my case.
Mm.
So but that makes sense.
yeah, because Cassie gets them all the time.
Mm.
Okay, so that's probably it.
Maybe it's like the
And then,
firstborn kind of thing.
And then Gina gets migraines somewhat often too. So,
My
interesting.
mom used to take like pills dedicated to like getting migraines. So like
She took pills to get migraines. Why would you do that?
You're so funny.
Thank you. I tried. I got a pretty good 5 minutes.
I can feel my migraines coming on because my I know this is a common thing, but like my eyes get like everything gets white out and I can't see. Like it's like
Ooh.
kind of like blindness.
I couldn't
And
Yeah,
imagine.
then that's
I
when you
know
really
that's
know it's
bad.
gonna
Because
be a good
my
one.
the one time I got a migraine, it wasn't that bad either.
Okay.
So, like
Things just go white and you're just like.
It's going in like waves right now. It's just like I can feel it.
Would
in
you
my
say
eyeballs.
waves keep coming? Waves keep coming in waves.
Waves.
and they don't stop coming.
Baby, yeah.
We're talking about Marley's father here, Luke Bryan. I mean Cody Wilson.
It's Luke
It's like a
Bryan.
running joke that my dad is Luke Bryan.
He literally sounds and looks like him.
Yeah.
So every time like Luke Bryan comes on the radio or my playlist, I'm like Cody Wilson.
Oh.
I think
Yeah,
of Marley's
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't really get it because I don't really know Luke
My dad
Bryan.
would be great on the podcast.
Yeah, you want to know him.
He would. He'd be like, all right,
No,
now,
I hear stories.
now Marley, I'm gonna
We're
tell
gonna-
you something.
That's not
Yeah.
all Hollyax.
That is literally my vision. If I think of Cody Wilson, I go, now Marley, and
No,
he crosses
the
like,
Marley,
You know,
the Marley is correct.
I swear that's how I like think of it.
we're gonna have to do a parents episode.
Parents episode.
Oh,
And
That'd
like
be
next
hilarious.
time, like you're in town, we should do is we should
so,
have
like,
this
in
same
10 years
setup.
from now.
Yeah, and like so in like 10 years.
You guys have the same parents.
Wow, I'm glad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where
my thoughts
we have,
exactly.
we have,
We came from
have
the
your
same
parents.
universe.
We have your parents come.
Tell me
in,
how you really
and
feel.
then, and well, you know, we could do my dad via Zoom episode because we've been talking about getting my dad on the podcast for quite some time.
Yeah, I feel like
he's
when
been
he,
on the podcast
I feel like
once.
I feel like
just to tell a story.
we should get him on the podcast
You should get him
For,
on the podcast.
for publicity for running for city council.
He refuses because so
I-
now there's this thing where
I support
me-
him fully for running for city council.
I thought
me,
Ryan was running.
Wesley, no, not anymore.
Oh.
Me, Wesley. Well, you know why I decided not to run for city council?
Why?
The Jared Graffoni podcast. I don't want that responsibility.
Oh,
Like-
you learned like how stressful it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
and so that's why I have so much respect for Jared. But so Keaton, Wesley, and I have been trying to convince my dad for years to run for city council because he's got so many
I
ideas.
could only
And
imagine.
Now,
He needs to be like the head,
yeah.
the man,
But he
the
said-
manager.
He said, "Well, the thing is, my dad said that he'd rather leave that up to somebody else because he knows that he would probably punch out half a city council one day. Like he'd start a fight and he'd go to prison." He said
Self
that there's
control is one of the fruit of the spirit.
yeah, but he's working on that still. So
Listen. Politics is not a good thing.
yeah. You know, I remember back when I was a little kid, my grandparents on my mom's side.
Don't look at that.
My
The
grandparents.
tape is.
Don't look at that.
It's the tape
It's-
is
don't
slowly.
look at
draw attention to it, Heidi.
Yeah.
All I hear is.
Now I have to zoom in on it.
Ryan, we know you ain't gonna edit any of this.
Hey, you know how many hours
You
I spent
suck
on the
now.
last video
Now we
podcast?
have to fix it.
You know how many hours I spent on the last video podcast? 27.
I just remember watching back the Halloween episode, and you were like planning to like put everyone's Halloween costumes, like insert photo here, and then you were like insert photo here.
And I did it.
Another
But
single one.
I
I
went
was
back
so
and I did it for the
disappointed.
highlight. I went back and I did it for the highlight.
You did?
Yes, I did. Watch it.
Okay.
Watch it.
Anyway, Ryan, you're going on about your grandparents' story.
My
Is that what we're
grandparents.
I would imagine it was a story.
My
Before-
grandparents on my mom's side said it's like, Ryan, you're so smart.
Zoned out the
You
last
sh- you
10
should
minutes.
go- you should go-
Zoned out.
They can hear you perfectly fine.
been zoning out for the past 5 minutes.
I've been zoning out for the past 5 minutes.
After we talked about self control, I literally didn't comprehend what
That
he
was like a minute ago,
All I
tops.
heard was the tape peeling off the wall.
Oh my goodness.
My grandparents on my mom's side said, Ryan, you're so smart. You should run for politics. And then my grandpa on my
So
dad,
emotional.
then my grandpa on my dad's side came in. It's like, he's too honest to be a politician. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Politicians are not
That's-
honest people, you know.
they'll say what they know they want the people to hear.
No, not all.
Oh, rule number 3 is don't get political.
Oh, we broke that rule.
Well, I said politicians.
Yeah,
I-
that's not political. Politicians in general. We can speak in general terms or in local terms
Yeah.
as
Oh,
much
I'm
as
not
we
gonna
want.
Like, we
mention
are all
anyone.
happy about the gas prices these days.
So you are or aren't.
We are.
Oh.
There is no bad gas prices in the United
Yes.
States.
You know,
Everything is good.
Everything is fine here.
Everything is awesome.
Send
I
this
was
to
going
Russia.
so long.
Everything is fine
cool
here.
when you're part of a team.
All right.
Everything is awesome.
I was
Gentlemen.
like so tired before we came here, and I was really trying to get some energy. And then I was like, you know, I have to feed off of others' energy, and I just could not. I was sitting here like about to fall asleep, and then Ryan was like, "Go behind the curtain with Heidi." The second that happens, and Ryan was like, "Y'all need to be quiet."
And of course, Marley like becomes alive at that moment.
Whenever someone asks you to be silent, it's just so
Because
hard.
she walks into the bathroom to look
you know-
at like to check her hair, and all of a sudden the fan turns
Laughing.
on, and we're like being yelled at to be quiet. And
Laughing at the most inopportune moments.
Yes,
is-
it's so good.
It's 10 times
Like-
worse when she's with Presley.
Well, Presley drained her today because Presley, you know, she's so
I know.
like,
They both like
laughing.
together around the mall.
Y'all laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Presley goes, I can't wait
Scalia's
to go and
class.
laugh at nothing. Like, who says that? It
Yeah,
was
she
so funny.
did say
I
that.
love
She
her.
said, "I'm ready to laugh at nothing."
I'm like, oh, good, the girls are back
It's only
together.
a joke.
Scalia's class.
Okay,
When I
we
was
are
sitting-
seniors in high school, and we got assigned seats because Marley and Presley could not control themselves.
And I had to sit with 2 other Ryans.
Yeah, you did.
And Scalia did that on purpose so that he could look at our table and say, Ryan.
Say
And-
it in Scalia's
It's,
voice.
and so that he could look at our table and go, Ryan.
Thank you. I needed that.
And then it's like, and then I'd go, it's like, who are you talking to? Which one of us are you talking to? I'm trying to talk to Carlos. You know,
Who's Carlos?
The other
the other guy in the
table.
class.
There was
There were
no-
4 guys in the class. There was Ryan Wallace,
Who's
Ryan
Carlos?
Gangle,
Weren't
myself,
you in that
and
class?
Carlos.
Who's Carlos?
Carlos. He remember every once in a while
Was
he would
it
go
so-
Rofendi tennis.
No, that was sophomore.
No.
Our senior year,
Oh,
Was-
I wasn't in your class in senior year.
it was James that replaced him, wasn't it?
I don't know, but anyway, so I was
Sorry.
thinking,
It was
like,
sophomore
we're
year.
talking about, like, laughing in awkward situations. Did y'all, like, ever laugh during the fire drills or, like, code red drills?
Oh,
like,
of course.
Okay, I just thought of, like, when we were in Mr. Totten's class in 8th grade, and, no. Yeah.
7th grade was Mr. Totten, I thought,
I don't
for
remember,
science.
but I was with Julian Totten.
8th grade
That's
was
who it
Miss Burger or Hamburger.
So we were sitting in the corner and like they were trying
Miss
so hard to
Doxy.
get us to be serious and like Julian Totten like let out a big fart. Oh.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to ask him for permission to not
Why?
blur out his name.
Why? That's so funny.
That is
I
funny.
don't know if it was, I don't even know if it was him, but I know he was with me and we were laughing so hard. Someone let out.
That was definitely not 7th or 8th grade then.
I don't know
Because we were in the same school together until high school.
there's so many Tottens. Like I said, my memory.
There's 3.
Well, the oldest one is like Tristan's age.
Well, the
and then
oldest
this-
one is actually Shane Totten. He's a teacher at Mark Walland Academy.
He actually. Oh,
He's got an alter ego
I thought
named
you said
Captain
MICS.
Ecology and the amazing Fia.
He's who taught me how to play guitar. Pretty cool.
Taught me how to play a G chord. That's about it.
Well, I actually like continued on.
Yeah. Glad that I'm in the back room during room. I'm very glad that I'm in the back room doing this during
On the roof.
the Faith Today show
Mhm.
because there are so many inopportune times that I have busted out laughing during the show. Now I'm not going to name any names, but we had a guest on the show who he really should have learned how to drink water during the show while talking for extended lengths because a lot of spit
Ew.
was lobbing up. Don't do that, please. Okay, I guess I have to do it now.
He took his flu off.
Oh!
What's it called?
Foamy.
It's we're in the back and Ryan goes, it's okay, there's no foamy on it. I'm
Me hanging out with my foamies.
That's such a cute name. And then I'm like thinking of this little, like a little
Now this is actually called a foam filter, but for the little ones, it's called a foamy.
That is the cutest thing in the world.
Yeah. I learned that like 3 days ago. Because I was trying to watch a tutorial on how to fix something at work.
Oh yeah. Did they call it a foamy in the video?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait.
Well, so the
Is that just a
we
South
use
African
those-
thing?
No, we use those mics on the show. Because the lead pastor, he's known to mess with his blazers sometimes.
So
and
all you hear
there's
is like,
rustling, and it said you can fix that with a foamy. I'm like,
okay.
what's a foamy? It's like if you don't know what a foamy is, I'm like, they can hear me. And it's like it's these, but it's a muy pequeño.
That is my favorite
Muy
thing in the
pequeño.
world. Is a
Muy
little
pequeño.
foamy.
I'm trying to like
It's Ito.
figure out what the name is for like my humor, because like if you think of Keaton, you think
Dry.
Stupid.
of dark
Dark,
humor.
How about
there's,
like
dad humor, and I'm like,
Yours is very dry.
I think
awkward.
blank.
Awkward.
I laugh.
blank?
cringe.
Like imagine like a
Cringe.
desert, and that's like your humor.
Well, also
No.
half the time, like I don't really find things actually funny. I just laugh when I'm nervous, and like I laugh in awkward situations.
You also go on your phone when you're nervous. I've noticed.
I do
That's
that.
when
you're,
she's
like,
getting confronted
when she's,
about
like-
something.
What?
Huh?
No, just when she's like uncomfortable, like there's someone new or something, you go on your phone as like a safety thing.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
I feel like a lot of people do that though.
I
It's fairly
just stop.
common.
My mind goes blank and I don't know what to say. Like if there's,
I can't. But the only thing is, you can't rely on that too much, because then you want to try and do it while you're like at work.
No, I realize that it's very
It's-
like it doesn't look.
I don't know what I would do.
It's very teen juvenile.
Like
looking,
yeah,
so
no, I do my
try not
best
to do
to
it.
not be on my phone.
I consciously try and put my phone away as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
Like on this
I've
trip,
started
I
using
just-
screen time to like limit my phone usage.
Oh, I have I haven't been on TikTok in like a month, but I put a timer and after an hour it pops up and I know I'm done.
I have a time limit on iFunny.
I don't think iFunny's funny.
It's not.
I've downloaded it like 10
Well,
times.
it's not
and I've
funny.
never enjoyed
Like
the app.
sometimes it's funny. Like when it's funny, I'll send it to people. But like it's not that funny. But I still use it
Yeah.
constantly
I
anyway.
It's like, why do you go through your like Instagram Explore feed?
It's
kinda like
garbage.
that.
well,
It's
because
like, let me show
well,
you.
so here's the
it's
thing.
a pregnant woman right now.
it's
What?
That's what my Discover page is on
Did
Instagram.
you say your discovery feed is a
well,
pregnant
because
woman?
It's all
the
pregnant
algorithm
women.
tests what it thinks that you want to look at.
Well, I'm guessing because my
So-
sister-in-law's pregnant, and that's
Yeah.
all I talk about. I guess I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
use Instagram. but it's like
Zucky is listening in and saying, like, I hear pregnancy talk. I'm going to show this person.
speaking of
pregnant
that,
women.
which we already know this is a thing. But like Marley was in my room doing my hair 2 days ago. I'm like, I use Tresemme mousse for my hair to make it fluffy. And like an hour later, I'm on Instagram and it had an ad for Tresemme. I was like,
You know what I've started?
It happens so often.
You know what I've started getting a ton of ads for?
I don't.
Do you want to know the main way to grow your podcast?
God.
get.
I used to get Grammarly all the time when we were in school.
That could have been
I
a lot
got
worse.
I
Grammarly,
hate
too.
Grammarly ads because they're like, this sentence is grammatically correct, but I don't know what the rest of it is.
It's like, but it's the
But,
tone.
like, it could be better. And it's just like the most annoying ad
No,
in my
it's
opinion.
like this. It would say it's like this sentence is technically correct.
I'm like,
However, yeah.
Who
Okay,
cares?
so like I said, don't have AirPods. I'm also broke, so I don't have Spotify Premium, and like I get ads.
my
so-
mommy
Want
pays
a break
for
from
mine.
the ads?
Yeah, no.
If you tap now to watch this short video, you'll get 30 minutes of uninterrupted listening.
ad-free music. And then but it's like it's not even different ads. Like for a month straight, it will be the exact same ads. So my favorite one right now is, "Hi, I'm Michael Bublé," and it's like bubbly sparkling water.
Oh,
but
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's like Bublé sparkling water, and it's like the whole world smiles.
Oh, yes, the
with
Bublé
you.
water.
And I love listening to ads because I'm like, yeah.
Oh wait, there was one during Christmas time, because at work, when I was still working in the Hive, they didn't have Spotify Premium. Actually, for Christmas, James got them a subscription to Spotify
Oh,
Premium.
that's cute.
Um,
Oh,
and
Bilbo.
there was
We love a
one
generous
commercial
man.
about like like the first ever
Domestic violence.
horror movie for cats. No, that was during October. It was the first ever horror movie made specifically for cats. It was like from Purina.
Cats the musical.
No.
Was it called Ocean?
Karina.
Because they don't like water.
Oh. It was like
That's like the line in the
it was
tuna.
like the Meowster or something. I don't know.
It's like the line in the tuna story.
Here's the thing. I convinced my mom to get Spotify Premium. We got a family plan because my Spotify was signed in on our Alexa, what's my current location? Just freaking people out.
Of course.
Was signed into our Alexa. And then what happened is people would play music at home. And I'd be driving, and then all of a sudden, it would switch to, like, usually Take On Me by
Nice.
Because it would be my mom in the kitchen cooking or something, and... Keaton, can you do some damage control really quick?
Yeah.
For our audio listeners, our sign is falling down.
It's because Heidi mentioned it.
Yeah.
And
You
now
cursed
it's now it's
Um,
raging revenge on us.
Rage Against the Machine.
I mean, it is Scotch
But-
tape.
Yeah, well, the command hook is gone, and I don't know what happened to it.
It's so soft.
But
found out.
yeah, but dang, I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm
Think
sorry.
about
So
that.
down again. Marley's shoes, like the bottoms of them are so soft.
I have some of that Scotch tape.
It's because they're cheap.
Yeah, it's in Gina's office. No.
This is like the one name brand shoe I own besides my Fila's.
What?
Those were
what,
not.
what are you all...
These were.
Are we talking about shoes now?
The bottom of her shoes are so soft. It's making noise again.
Keep
If it falls, it falls. We've only got like 20 minutes left. Wow, the past half hour went by really fast. What are you doing? Okay.
What's something else we could talk about?
Well, so I have a question.
Me too.
So there's been a lot of talk in recent weeks, especially about the future, because so since you guys got engaged, of course we're all talking about the wedding and everyone's thinking about that. Now, Heidi,
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about your future.
Oh no.
What
Why
do
are
you
you
want to do?
laughing?
Because there's not much for my future.
We're discussing. Yes.
Oh, we just talked about the last person you were talking to.
What do you like? That aside, what do you want to do?
Like for my future?
Yeah.
Like with my life?
Yeah.
Well, when I was 10, I assumed by the time I was 20, I would be married and maybe having my first kid. But now that I'm 20, I realize that is not the case. So I'm currently in school getting a bachelor's degree in business admin and management. And I currently work for my church. I'm like the administrator, I guess is what we call it. And I'm like, that'd be really cool if that could go full time when I graduate, so it's like 3 years from now. And I hope before I graduate, I'm at least dating someone. Because I am like,
3 years.
everyone's
ladies
like,
and
no,
gentlemen.
you have your whole life. And I'm like, my whole life I dreamt that I'd be like married super young. And now I'm 20 and I've had like very little
there's a lot of
dating.
judgment behind getting married young.
Well,
I mean, not
I mean,
that,
you're like,
we care.
it makes
but, like,
sense. I feel like you guys
Who's
will
judging you?
understand it because he's 18
Who's
and you're
judging
19.
you?
No, just like the stigma behind it. Like
Well,
it's
there-
just like
there's a
people
very-
think, people talk.
Well, because so the whole thing is
People jelly.
Yeah. Well, because it's rare that like high school sweethearts work out, and I was talking about this last night.
Yeah, you were. It was 2 a.m. It was actually today.
Oh yeah. I was talking about this
Girl.
very early. I was talking about this
It's
about 22 hours ago. 22.
22.
And so what people do is they don't know what they want to do, and then they will fit the other person into their idea of
What are you doing?
messing with her flannel. They will fit the other person into their idea of what they want to do, instead of finding someone that already fits into the plan. And you guys already know it. Everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I've kind of always known what I wanted to do. Keaton's always known what he's wanted to do. Except I was scared about doing what I wanted to do until I was like, screw it.
Well, what are you doing, Marley? Because we've never really talked about that on the podcast.
That's a good question. What are you doing?
And what are the plans? What's the visionary business plan?
So I'm going to school for aesthetics and skincare. So like medical aesthetics. So I can work at a med spa. I can do things like that. So I'll get my esthetician license next year. But like, you know, I've always loved doing makeup. I've done like theater makeup. I've done makeup on my friends. I've just always loved doing it, and I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you could make a pretty good career out of it. I mean, at least in Longview. I don't know about around here because it's just like old people a lot. So,
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I can't like see an old person.
Especially
Maybe like
men.
Botox, but like I'm not doing that. It's more so like, you know, like
Hey. Bar
medical
needs
spas.
painting.
Instagram baddies that like pay $100 to get their eyebrows done.
It's like brows,
Ooh.
lashes,
Am I an
facials.
Instagram baddie then because I get my eyebrows done?
You get your eyebrows done?
You
No,
are the
I
baddest
get
of the
my
baddies.
He barely sits through it. I mean, I pull the tweezers out, and he's like, "I gotta go get a hot towel.
you-
I gotta open up my pores."
So there's like a secret side.
Excuse me, the tweezers are cold and unforgiving.
Keaton acts as if he's like the manliest man, and then there's like Marley doing his eyebrows because he'll volunteer. He'll be like, Marley, can you do my eyebrows? Like not like Marley's forcing him. He wants this done, and it's so funny.
I like to look good.
He's
Sue
such-
me.
Look at his
I'm
brows.
so proud of him. He's
What
such
do
a
you do?
hygienic man, and I'm like,
We love a hygienic man because if you don't wear deodorant or if like you don't keep up with the face hair,
and like we go to the mall together, and he's just like helping me pick out outfits because like he knows my style,
good.
and he's like, Marley, that look fire, and I'm like,
okay, but
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
ladies at home, don't you agree that you want your man to tell you if an outfit looks good on you?
Well, I mean, look,
helps
it
with your
works.
style?
He's engaged.
okay,
on,
but like
I'll tell you after the podcast, but it was a really good joke. All right, continuing on.
I felt the air suck out of the room.
Yeah. That was
because
like,
Marley hates talking about like certain things, and I know she does, but like my family is so we talk about things, and so I forget to like.
No,
not
I
talk.
just choose to not say anything.
Mm.
I think she might have
I'm
been
not gonna
buffering.
hold myself to say anything.
She
So I
doesn't
just
find what we find funny because
We'll
like
see.
I
Like,
find it-
and it's understandable.
okay.
I find it-
That's the one thing I don't find funny is dark humor or like ridiculously like dirty humor. Like I can chuckle at it, but like I don't. It doesn't make me laugh. Like I don't know.
my only humor that I have is dark, like really
no, you
dark.
also have dad humor too. Like you
it's
make.
true. You've got the podcast humor down too.
It's like those jokes that like people are like.
You gave my jokes a mere like come on now.
It's because you're
No,
always
the
joking
best-
with
the
everything
best
you
Okay,
say.
I feel
jokes.
like all four of us have extremely different humor though.
yeah.
a mere chuckle.
So the best jokes.
And then a cackle.
She's losing her mind.
The best jokes are the unintentional ones.
The hamster stopped
When
for a
it comes,
second.
at least with our like established rapport, because I think the best moments on the podcast. That's why my favorite moment on the podcast of all time is "Do You Refuse to Concede?"
That was so.
That's why it was
the
embarrassing.
That was why it was the first.
And we all laughed at that too. Like I spit my water
Like, it was
out.
it was
Yeah,
so
we know.
funny.
That's why
I
I'm
was
sitting
like-
over here.
Well, so the a card had just showed up on YouTube to go watch the highlight of that bit, but
Oh, I thought you just said a car just showed up.
card.
I was like,
Oh, is it like the little info thing that pops
Yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
But those are called cards.
I just
They used to be called annotations.
I learned
but-
2 new things tonight. What a foamy is and what a card is. I'm very proud.
Wow. Anyway,
wow.
so
At least we're adding to your vocabulary.
sorry,
Last time you
relevant.
learned what Quesadillas means.
every time you come on the podcast, you learn something new.
I know.
Last time you learned what conceited meant.
Is that
we learned?
None of the 3 of us knew.
No, not one of us knew.
My
Yeah.
mommy's
okay?
calling me.
I
Mommy's
kind of
calling
knew.
you.
It's okay.
What?
I was on the right track.
Yeah, you.
Cindy.
The South conceded from the Union. No.
no, not that part.
Well, I'm like thinking of concede. To me, I was like, oh, you like
My hand-
cover
so here's my
yourself
thing.
up.
My
Here's the
hamster
thing.
stopped
So
for a
that was the week of the election, right? And that word was in
Oh,
the
that-
news constantly.
That makes sense.
And our whole thing about trying not to get political, I didn't want to mention Trump and Biden by name. Now we've done it since because that was
Who are they?
huh? I don't know, some old guys that either were or are in charge.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly, I don't know.
Allegedly.
I've become so much happier after just like not watching the news.
Oh yeah, no, I made
So much
myself
happier.
really sad today because I watched the news.
Oh, I live in the
And
woods.
I
you see.
Yeah, I
realized
just
it's
choose
like,
to,
wow,
like,
I probably
not-
shouldn't have done that.
Read your Bible.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I
You go
I
from
had
this-
to today. I had to today because I
Or
was
just
editing
live
a
in the
video.
woods.
I was editing a video, and the guy wasn't saying what verses he was quoting.
Oh, okay.
So I had to look each of them up and make
Yeah.
sure it matched, and then read multiple different versions to make
Mhm.
sure I knew like okay, so do I put NLT? Do I put NIV? And he was switching between different versions. Most of it was
Oh.
either the Passion or NIV.
Let's try
But,
and be a little consistent. Who do you listen to?
The What's in
Huh?
the Sky
What do you mean,
episode
who
was
do
one
I
of my
listen to?
favorite.
I listened to the next podcast. That was a
Oh. I was like,
No, I was editing a video.
do you listen to anyone outside of like your work people?
Yeah, I listen to Stephen Furtick every once in a while.
Okay.
And
I was just
then
wondering.
I don't know a lot because I really don't know.
He does not know.
I
Why
don't
would you
listen
ask him
often.
something if he doesn't
I
know?
was just wondering, 'cause
I
I
don't
listen to
listen
a lot
often.
of people, and I was like, oh, maybe we listen to the same people.
Finish that water bottle right now.
Did y'all like that episode? It was very deep.
What is that episode?
So What's in the Sky where they
I
talked
don't know
about
the
they like
titles.
both shared their testimonies like
Yeah.
Keaton and Ryan?
Yeah.
I'm a fake fan because I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, the
episode.
background changed from that flowing green thing to stars, and I started playing a loop of Yeshua.
I
You know
feel
the song?
really
and
bad.
they literally like prayed on the podcast for
Why
like
have I not watched this?
you
Wow.
need to it was a good
Fake
one.
fan.
I
Yeah,
liked
fake
it.
fan,
The
honestly.
last,
fan.
Oh, maybe it's
okay.
because the
Marley comments on every episode.
literally
I do.
she
I
is
go-
our biggest
I go,
supporter.
yay, Seeker, yay, Jesus, because you guys were talking about Jesus.
No,
Yay,
you didn't say that.
Gina
you said
Sparrow.
you said more content like this.
Oh, did I?
On that one, I remember because I looked at comments.
Do we know what number that was?
That was 23.
Okay.
It was the audio was horrible on that one because
That one took me 18
We screwed
hours
up.
just to
One
fix
comment.
the audio.
yeah
More
we
content like
we,
this.
we screwed
Right.
up.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
I
really-
didn't check it, and that's what screwed.
No, I didn't check it.
Well, I mean, it was kind of both our parts.
We didn't- yeah.
I
It's
just
okay. It's over.
If I'm gonna be
Yeah, but it took
honest,
me-
I listen to the podcast when my mom has them on in the background because she'll be doing work, but
Fake
she'll
fan.
also, and then that's when I listen to them.
Yeah.
And I actually I really do enjoy listening to them. I just never think to go and like
Yeah.
sit through.
Well, most people don't, which that's why we're going to be making the actual bite-sized shorter.
like 10-minute.
Yeah, 10,
15
15
minutes.
minutes.
Oh no, the bite size are actually my favorite because I have like an hour to 30 minutes to listen to a podcast. I don't have like an
Yeah,
hour. And a
I
half.
usually have about 30 minutes to
Well,
listen.
kind
I
of
have
the
to-
whole thing is you don't have to listen to the whole thing in one set.
Oh, I never do. I
Yeah.
do it in chunks. Like if I'm cleaning my
even-
room.
I usually take like
Club
a week
chunks.
to get through an episode of any podcast. So like I never listen to unless I'm like working on a project that I don't have. So if I am editing photos at work instead of editing video, so I'll be listening to podcasts. or sometimes when I have a long drive and I don't want to sit there for 10 minutes and figure out exactly what songs I'm going to want to listen to. Which actually I don't have to do that anymore because just play Free Bird.
See, I'm still a music person.
Oh no, I wasn't actually talking to you. Sorry.
Play Freebird.
You know,
Oh, good.
wait,
What is Freebird?
can you wear those in the shower technically?
I'm so uneducated. I'm gonna look up
You
Freebird.
know that one song wasn't that song in Forrest Gump
Bird.
when Jenny does drugs and
Leonard
she is deciding to
Skinner.
jump off of her.
So actually, Heidi, that was one of the memes back from the 70s. In the 80s, what people would do is at the end of any concert, someone in the crowd would always yell "Freebird!" like in attempts to get. My dad did that at the Smith house.
Nice.
nice.
I bet all the boomers loved it.
Where,
they did.
where and what is the Smith House? I've
The
heard
Smith
of it.
Are you
House is-
serious?
You've
I've never been there. I've never heard
Do you
of
know-
it.
Oh yeah,
It's
she
Tony.
moved
I mean,
away.
I've heard of
Tony
it.
Tony
you
Smith's
know-
restaurant. They
Do you know who Tony Smith is?
Smudge. He used to.
Your
own
dad
the
knows him.
Tiger Tail Beach
My dad knows
Cafe.
everybody. But
The Tiger
Oh,
Tail
that's a
Beach
good
Cafe
point.
with the kayak rental down on Tiger Tail.
It's
Yes,
like
yes,
yes. So
every
there
high
was-
school boy worked there kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happened was there were some things with the county where it got like pulled out from under them and they got
Yeah,
kicked out.
county sucked.
It was a bad.
And
yeah.
it
should not have
was
happened.
it was a bad situation, and so they're like, we're gonna open up our own restaurant. So they bought where the Petit Soleil used to be down in Old Marco.
Like the cute little pink and blue and yellow buildings.
Yeah. And they bought that, and they first opened it up as breakfast, and then they opened up it for lunch and dinner, and then they opened up the bar, and they're going to be opening up the bakery soon.
So
They've got
how
a
late are
stage
they
out
open
there.
till? Like midnight?
They're open till like a 10 or 11 or
Oh.
something.
But they like bought out
They-
like half the plaza, and it's like really cute and modern, and they have live music all the time.
They have live music every single night.
Yeah, I follow them on Instagram, and they're always posting who's singing that night.
Yeah,
or
and
like
every
playing
Tuesday
that
is
night.
open mic night too.
So
That
okay,
sounds fun.
that's what I want to lead to. So speaking of open mic night, Sean and Presley's families hang out a lot because that makes sense.
Yeah, it
and
makes
so
sense.
they went a Tuesday night, and there's a video of Presley up there singing, and I'm like, get it? She sang the Carrie Underwood song, like, I
I
dug
know.
my keys.
That
I was like, this
that
is so
was
cute.
At
Like,
the Smith House? Or?
yeah, that's the Smith House. I was like, get it, Presley, because like she loves to do karaoke, and I was like,
We should go to.
We should do karaoke.
What? Like right now?
No, not right now.
Oh,
But
man,
I just
you're-
thought that
you're
was cute.
here-
I've never seen anyone
you're here
actually have the
tomorrow.
balls to like go up and sing.
I can always just not show
Do
up.
you want
Maybe it's just-
you want to go do karaoke on Tuesday, Heidi?
Maybe.
Let's go do.
Make sure to film it.
Can we do a duet?
Yeah.
Oh my
What
gosh.
song do you want to do?
What's the call? Oh, turn around every now and then. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
little bit lonely.
It's not in my range.
It's in
You know
my
what
range.
song
Bonnie Tyler and my
You know what song I actually found I do really well on with karaoke? "Beggin" by Frankie Valli and the Four
You
Seasons.
make me mad.
Isn't it?
Why do I make you
I'm
mad?
begging.
Listen, I performed a
I
solo.
actually did really good with that one night. When
Dang,
we
I
were-
don't
know what
know
I
that.
did
I
one night?
wish I knew.
It's a fairly popular
Is it the
TikTok
ones like I'm
audio for
begging for
begging
you? Okay,
Put
is that
your
one?
loving hand out, baby.
I've never
That
actually
one.
listened to the song. I just heard it on TikTok.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Listening.
I'm not much of a singer, but I did I did solo Jukebox Hero one night
I have a video.
and absolutely
Oh.
destroyed it.
You will no one will ever top that. Ever. It is so good. It's so funny.
Rest.
And it hurts
that my friends
never stood down when all the shame
He was ashamed.
thought of changing my name.
What's the name?
And I got downhearted.
How did you feel?
Every time I what?
Not in front of the listeners.
Oh, sorry. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Let me just say,
Hakuna Matata.
I have something to
Ain't
say.
no passing craze. It means no worries
the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Anyway, okay.
Alright,
So what
back
were you
to
trying
the
to say,
main
Heidi?
point of it.
Okay, so
Oh,
you're singing
going
Lion
dark.
King, and I saw y'all in Lion King because you guys did the performance years ago.
That wasn't us.
You
Okay,
can't prove that.
so I have
You
not
can't prove
seen
that with the
it.
picture
Show
that
me a
just went
DNA
up on
test.
screen.
I've seen all the movies, the
Uh-huh.
animated one, and like the
And
live
Hold on,
action
pause.
animated one.
Did you just text Heidi?
No, it's
while
James.
you were sitting next to her?
James Cameron. So I've seen both
We
the
gotta
movies.
get that guy in the studio.
I have seen both the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think you went with Dayette when we saw it. Like, is it what's it called? Is it like Broadway or is it not?
Well, it was the touring Broadway.
Touring
show.
Broadway, and then I've seen y'all's version, and my favorite version ever is still your guys' version.
That was just because of Keaton and I, though.
Yeah.
It's
Probably,
literally
but like I've seen it, and I love Lion King.
like it's still
but
talked
like
about till
I
this
have
day.
still never
You know
seen a
what?
better version of it. It was so good.
I was
I
so
think it's
upset.
because it's the junior play, and so it's shorter.
I was so upset
That would be
when I saw whatchamacallit,
It's a
the
candy
live
bar.
action Lion King, and they didn't add "He Lives in You."
It's such a good song.
Oh, I was
Oh. That song is like
What's the song Kira sings?
He lives in
He
you.
lives in you.
Yeah, she like
He
brings a
lives
tear
in
to your
you.
eye. Her
Hey,
voice
la.
is perfect.
Hey, Mamela.
Hela,
He lives in me.
Hela.
That's a good song. Ooh, that give me
Hela.
chills.
I still have
Did
the
that give you
karaoke.
chills?
Yeah, it did.
He
I still have the
lives in
karaoke
you.
track on this computer.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway.
Anyway.
And
We don't
when
have
I-
much time left in this podcast.
Holy
Time
crap,
is just
really?
flying by.
Yeah.
We're an hour.
We're
and
having
17
fun.
minutes in.
We don't know if you are all having fun.
I mean, I had a great time.
Now, here's the thing: is if you could tell everyone at home one piece of advice,
hmm
Oh,
what would it be?
it's kind of
to give your life up to Jesus.
Jesus.
Look directly into the camera and say it.
To give your life up to Jesus.
And
You're
now
supposed
we'll
to high
take it
five.
and say,
Oh. Jesus loves you.
Give
Get
your
your
life.
credit card. What?
Wait, what is it? God loves you very much, and so do I.
No.
Is that
And
all?
just remember,
That's
God made
loves-
you special,
That's
and
it.
He loves you very much.
much.
You know what I listened to today?
What?
The song that Julian and I wrote, that I was intending to use as the Act 1 finale when I did the live theatrical production of Jonah,
Oh,
the Veggietales musical,
yes.
which is great, by the way. I have it all ready to go at a moment's notice. I already have costumes and stuff picked up, which I have to grab something from home, by the way.
I was wondering.
What?
I don't know. You told me something else.
Yeah, I did tell you something.
And it didn't happen, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
like really.
I
disappointed.
forgot.
I feel
How do you forget?
immensely disturbed right now about what just happened.
Well,
Ryan
the
wants
people-
to dress up kids like vegetables, and
That's a quote too.
Throw them in a pot and cook them.
them. That's a quote too.
I was so devastated.
Ryan was
When
like,
I showed up.
Okay,
What are you into?
What? I said I'm not a pickle, I'm a cucumber, to quote Larry from Veggietales. Can we talk about Veggietales for a second?
I love Veggietales.
that
speaking of
literally,
it,
my mom has a video of me when I was 2, and not a lot of 2-year-olds talk, but I was a talker, and I was sitting in front of the TV singing, "If you like to talk to tomatoes,
If a squash can make you smile, if you like to waltz with potatoes, up and down the produce aisle, have we got a show for you. Veggietales, 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 Veggietales.
broccoli, celery, gotta be
Veggietales.
cauliflower, sweet and sour, half an hour. Veggietales.
There's never a show like Veggietales. There's never a show like Veggietales. There's never for Veggietales. Looks like QWERTY has a verse for us.
Oh, what is it? Word is for everyone.
For we know God's word is for everyone. And now that the song is done, we'll take a look.
Oh, I'm reliving my
All right.
childhood. I can't believe you just clapped.
Okay.
I clap all
You
the
know,
time.
so I was having this conversation with Christian the other day,
You know.
which,
You know.
He used to go to Tony Smugger,
Remember?
little
Yeah,
Christian.
he-
and
He's grown up now.
yeah, he produces the show.
Like I said,
Um,
memory.
But,
It's fine.
Her
so
hamster doesn't
what-
run that
all
well.
good.
So what? That took me a second. That's great. So we were talking about. So you know
Just
how
comprehended that.
I have a really good memory when it comes to entertainment.
Uh-huh.
Like I can perfectly quote like a lot of movies and stuff like
I
that.
can think of one movie that you know the entire script to.
Correction. We
We
know
know
the
the
entire
entire
script
And
too.
because of that, I know like half the script. Alright, so
He
that's
rode a blazing saddle.
They
He
know, like,
wore a
English.
shining star. His job.
We sung a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, we have.
It's weird.
It's like a movie that like we could
The
quote.
Pickle Jar Podcast, the musical.
I used to have Rango memorized.
See the movies I can quote,
But-
like no one knows.
Probably
Like
like Beauty and the Beast, maybe. But that's like,
Like the
Disney.
music.
Everyone knows. I don't
Pablo
know.
Mall Cop, I know like every word
Oh,
to that
that's a
movie.
good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Blart.
Like,
Peanut Blart and
so
jelly. Hey,
No,
peanut
but
Blart
like
and
I'll
jelly.
correct people.
do y'all have y'all ever watched Nacho Libre? Like it would,
Oh,
it
yes.
would not fly now just because it's like kind of
I don't think.
inappropriate.
everyone's
but
politically
like
correct.
I don't know.
But so as I was saying,
What's our
Good
gross?
quote.
You guys are walking on the line.
I was perfectly quoting a ton of stuff from Veggietales. He's like, "How do you have that all remembered?" It's like, "Did you like watch it recently?" It's like, "Well, yeah, but that's not why."
I
And he's
watched
like,
it
"Why
2
were you
days
watching
ago."
Veggietales recently?" It's like, "Well, because my dad wanted to."
Oh.
No, because so there was, you know how when you're on YouTube really late at night and you get the weird recommendations.
Yes.
So I got Veggietales out of context,
Mm.
and I went into my dad's room at like 1 in the morning, and
Yeah.
I'm like, watch this clip, and it was the one where Larry got back from Danish immersion camp,
Yeah.
where it
Whoa,
was,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's like,
whoa,
what is-
whoa, 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 whoa.
what is
Danish
welcome-
in camps?
Danish immersion camp.
Okay.
So what is Welcome Himmel-Larry? It's Welcome Home Larry in Danish. How would I supposed to know that? You just spent the last 3 weeks at Danish immersion camp. Well, I didn't actually go to Danish immersion camp, and I like did that whole thing.
Mhm.
And I went in and showed my dad, and he's like, "We should watch some Veggietales." So then we
Aw.
watched Veggietales. We watched Dave and the Giant Pickle. We watched Esther. We watched.
Esther is my favorite.
I
one.
always
King
loved the Larry
George
Boy
and
episodes.
The bunny episode is my favorite.
The
The
bunny,
bunny,
oh,
the
I ate the
bunny.
bunny. I didn't eat my steak or my...
Okay. So
He
you
didn't
know
say
him,
veggies. He
my
definitely.
soup or my bread.
Oh yeah.
The big guy, and he's also the king in
Nebuchadnezzar.
Esther.
Yeah.
Is he like a cucumber or a pickle?
I think he's a zucchini because he has a
Okay.
stem.
So he reminds me of Scalia. Like my whole life, I always thought
Okay,
him and Scalia
so
were,
we
like, the
got
same
the
energy.
Grinch. We've got Manny the woolly mammoth and
The zucchini from
Nebuchadnezzar.
Veggietales.
Oh.
Mr. Nezer.
Oh my gosh.
That was his name.
That's like the I don't
because
know,
his
it's
first
like, you know.
introduction was when he played King Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that.
so his name ended up
He
being
liked his
Mr.
oily
Nezer.
women.
What?
I said he liked his oily women.
That was King Xerxes.
Yeah,
But he
Xerxes
also
liked
played
oil.
King Xerxes.
But Xerxes also like
Who was
the
Xerxes
pole.
then?
King Xerxes was played by Mr.
No,
Nezer.
that's not what
King
I mean.
Xerxes
I
was
mean,
the
like
king-
actually in the Bible.
The king who
Who's the one with Esther?
King Xerxes.
Yeah, that's Xerxes.
That's what I thought.
He
So
likes his
who's-
oily
okay,
women, and he
okay.
also likes
So
a
who's
woman near
Nebuchadnezzar
you.
again?
Nebuchadnezzar
That's
was
what my issue
the
is.
king
Hey.
from Shadrach,
your
Meshach,
cousin?
and Abednego, right?
Okay, and they wouldn't bounce, so they got thrown into the fire. And
There's
then everyone
another in
The Old
the
Testament is
fire.
very
They-
Standing
Yes.
next to me.
The New Testament.
I hate my
like
life.
the New Testament, I've got down. Like I could explain it to anyone. Like the Old Testament, I'm
I
just
only
like,
know the Veggietales
Yeah,
ones.
literally. I'm like,
Okay, I did.
Oh, I
until
love the Old
started listening to this
Testament.
guy,
It's
Alan
brutal.
Carr, on YouTube, and he goes through books in the Bible,
Yeah.
and I learned so
I
much.
feel like they
I've
teach a
learned
lot
so
of
much from
Old
Jordan.
Testament when we're kids, you know.
They do. In Sunday school, you actually do
Yeah.
learn a lot of Old Testament, and then I
That's how I
didn't realize
remember.
how, like, amazing the New Testament was until I was older. Because then I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. Like,
You know,
okay,
you know
I like
why
this.
I read the Old Testament as a child?
Sunday school.
The stories.
No.
The old women only wanted to teach the old
No,
stories.
because well, actually, my mom was the Sunday school teacher.
Oh,
so,
that's cute. My mom was also a Sunday school, but not mine.
But so what happened was we had at Wesleyan United Methodist Church,
Mm-hmm.
before all the kids went off to Sunday school, all the kids would be brought up on stage, and the pastor would give a mini, very watered down version of the sermon to the kids.
Mm.
Oh yeah, they did that
Yeah.
for us too. Kind of.
Like very short version. So, what? Oh, you're. He would do a very mini, very watered down version of
Send
the
us
sermon,
off.
and then we had this thing called Stump the Pastor, where we would have questions that we would have to ask the pastor. We'd come up with the week before in Sunday school, and we'd write them down, and we'd know that we'd have the answer. And then, in front of the entire congregation, we would grill them with questions.
Oh.
I was the only kid who consistently was able to stump the pastor, because I would do the most obscure things, and I figured out. I listened to his sermons. I'm like, yo, he mostly focuses on the New Testament. It's like, you just have to find something really obscure from the Old Testament. So the first time I ever stumped him, you know what I asked him? What was the name of Methuselah's wife?
Oh.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay,
like
that's like kind of doing him dirty though. Like I feel like no.
Like, I don't
one-
even know who
well, he
Methuselah
respected
is,
me
so.
for it, and I was his favorite. So I mean,
Wow.
Hey,
It's like
speaking
asking
of,
like the order of Abraham's
speaking
family.
of this, I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask you
like-
a very this question you should 100% know the answer to right away. Like it's a
Yeah.
Sunday school question.
sycamore tree,
How many books in the Bible are there?
66.
Okay, yes. Most of us know this because you grew up in Sunday school.
Yeah.
Jonathan White, tonight at small group, he goes, "There's just so many books in the Bible. There's like over 100." And I go, "There are 66 books." And he goes, "Nah." And I'm like, "Yeah." He sat
66
there
books
and counted
in the Bible.
table of contents, how many books
Genesis,
there are. And I'm like, Sean, I'm like, you're the one becoming a youth pastor, and you don't know there's 66 books in the Bible? And he's like,
You're doing him dirty right now on the podcast.
He doesn't listen this far in.
And if he does listen, it's still not a big deal. It's just so funny.
He didn't even know that he was on the last podcast. I confirmed that.
Oh,
The last one that we did, he did not know that he was on the podcast.
He doesn't listen to our podcast?
he didn't even know up until 3 weeks ago.
I was just like, how do you
Yo,
not
let's call
know
him.
this?
Did he ever get that hat?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, we got...
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
It's an hour 29. I think we're just about ready to wrap up here.
Yeah.
All right. Very
So
well.
let's see. Heidi, do you have any closing arguments?
Thank you. All right, Marley.
No, it's for serious.
I know that we're about to leave here, and then you guys are going to record another episode. I think y'all should talk more about God.
We
I know you guys do.
We
a lot.
do what we want.
I like hearing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. For people who don't know, who listen to the podcast.
Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
We'll do a live
and then
reading.
rank them, and you can argue with Heidi and I. Like
Yeah.
Heidi and I
We'll do a live...
We were arguing in
the
the
other
car.
day, we were talking about what our favorite,
Gospel was.
yeah, like in order.
And
the
for some reason,
prosperity.
her favorite
Because I like
her
making
favorite
money.
is Matthew. My favorite is John.
I
And
just like
my least
Matthew
favorite
is
is
like
Matthew.
one of my favorite disciples. Like I don't know, he's just like one of
Because of The Chosen.
Which is a great show, and you should watch it. I just like the way they interpreted him. Like, I think he's such a
My
he's like a cutie.
my
you know?
favorite
He's like a
book-
little cutie.
He reminds me of like Keon, kind of.
Yeah.
Heidi,
He's like, oh, it's Matthew.
that man is
Like,
way
I
too
feel
old
so
for you.
That's
He's like
not cutie like that.
2,000
Like
years.
2,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a cute little kid. Like it's a cutie. He's like a cutie. Like not like.
Did you just say
Tax
cute like
collector.
Keon?
No.
And did you call Keon a little kid then?
I said okay.
I mean, he is like a little kid, but still. My favorite book of the Bible is.
You are 4 years old.
Revelation.
She knows.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Well, no, we were talking about the
Revelation
Gospels.
scares me.
Guess what? Okay, what's the last word?
I
Don't-
embrace
What's
it.
the last word in the Bible?
Amen.
I was just wondering if you knew that.
All right, what's the first word in the Bible?
In. What's the second
No, it's actually the
I'm going.
because it's the Bible.
No, it's holy.
Oh, the Bible's got holes in it.
Mine does. I got shot with my Bible on it.
Oh, I love
Saved my
Bible
life
jokes.
more than once.
I've had mine for now. The one I'm using currently.
My Bible
2
isn't
years.
very worn out because I do most of my reading on my phone.
See, I used to do that.
I hate
No,
that.
I refuse now because like I
You get
read.
notifications and it distracts you.
Well, and also you can't write down on your phone. It's not this. Everyone's different. It's okay. I'm saying like me personally until
like
I read my phone Bible
Flipping
until
pages.
2019. My life did not like change until when I opened up the actual
Yeah,
paper
yeah.
Bible like 2019. And I'm like, so I don't like. I was like,
It makes
I've been
it
saved,
makes a
like,
huge
since I was, like,
difference.
7.
So
But
it was
when I was
more-
19 is when I like actually.
Are we gonna hear your testimony now?
Well, we just shared half of it.
Well, no, we didn't because
I don't have much
an hour and
more to
32.
talk about my testimony. Like,
Well, you know what?
I will say it.
I've never heard your testimony.
This is my testimony.
From death to life.
All right, maybe we can extend the podcast a little more because I've never heard yours.
Don't we all have like? I mean, you're my brother. I feel like you know my life.
Do I?
Do you know Keaton's testimony?
Can you
If you
guess?
listen to the What's in the Sky episode, you would know.
Yeah.
I guess
Try
I
to
don't.
guess.
I don't. So like when you were saved.
When it
It
was.
wasn't when I was
It
saved.
was the moment that it clicked and it was real for him.
I don't know. When our dad almost died.
No, but that was a good moment. That,
When
that
our
was
mom-
For faith building.
for faith
Oh.
building, and it wasn't almost.
When was it? When was it?
It was the night that the fan broke down on the way up to Ohio.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a pretty. You were with me in that experience.
Well, you prayed for us.
I know.
And everything got better after that moment.
Exactly my point.
The power of prayer.
Yeah, that's when it all clicked.
Okay, so you started. You might as well finish it because God is a finisher.
So everyone's
is
like, "What's your testimony?"
tell
I'm like,
us
I don't really know what to say because like people.
That's
like,
exactly
who
what I
actually
thought
wants
too
to
until
hear
Ryan
us?
asked me on the podcast.
I feel like it's weird.
Well, because the thing is, it is very important to share your testimony, not only to self-edify, to
Okay,
like
To
confirm
give it,
with
like,
yourself.
I'll give like the short version.
Okay.
Like
bite
technically,
sized.
I was originally saved when I was 7. We lived in Ohio. My dad worked nights because he's a cop. And my mom and I were in my room, and my dog was outside barking popcorn, and she was like barking. Her name was Popcorn. And like,
I thought
I
she
was-
was barking popcorn.
I
was
know
gonna
the way
say,
I
it's
said
like-
that. I was like,
She
okay.
got sent to the
She
farm.
barked
my
so
mom-
loud that it got hot. And then the
Right,
popcorn
right.
Okay,
She's
continue. I'm sorry. For
No,
that.
it's fine. And my mom's like, do you want to get saved tonight? And I don't know where that came from. And I was like, oh, sure. Like, I'm 7. Like, I understood the basics.
Yeah.
So I truly believed I was saved, but, like, my life did not live for
Yeah.
God at that point. So my mom and I prayed. She, like, prayed, you know, the little prayer
Yeah,
with
the
me.
salvation. Right.
And the moment we finished praying, my dog stopped barking. And it was, like, crazy because she was, like, barking bloody murder. Like, we were, like, shut up because we did not like that dog. And so, after that, I was like, oh,
She
that's
got
really
sent
cool.
to the farm.
I was like, oh, it's like God shut the mouths of the lions of Daniel. Okay, so that's 7-year-old Heidi. I, from then until I was like 14, never understood living your life for God. We
Yeah.
went to church.
Well, that's why.
Sunday
That's why
school,
Paul
didn't
calls it the
understand
mystery of
anything.
salvation.
Oh, I was like, what? I'm like, okay,
It
I'm
is
saved. What does that mean? And also, we were not in church every week. Like, we were growing up. We never had like an actual church every week because like we were really bad at going. And so, 14 years old. That's when middle school years. My best friend was like Reef, and my mom had cancer that like throughout those years. My dad almost died a few times throughout those years. And I was like, this sucks. And I was still very much living my life for myself. And I was like, I'm like, oh yeah, I believe in God. But like, it wasn't my life. And that did not happen till we were I was 17. We started going to Summit Church. And I was like, oh, like, this is real.
Wait,
like,
really?
Yeah. And so,
Girl.
So,
I thought
listen,
it was before then.
you know how like
Don't judge.
Sorry, no, that's just.
so I'm a sophomore at Lely now, so this is before I came back junior
Oh
year.
yeah, I forget that you're like
so,
older.
No,
Sorry.
I got held back a year. So now listen, because you're right. Like I was 17, I was a sophomore in Lely, and we were not in school together anymore, and like we just became talking again, like since our break off, and what am I trying to say? Okay, so like Summit Church, I realized it's real. Like, oh, you should not be lukewarm. You need to be living your life for God. Like, be useful.
Filled with the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Be useful.
And I was like,
I love
don't be
that.
like, yeah. So like, you're either
Don't waste your
lukewarm
life
or
and
you're
be
like
in
hot or cold.
seal.
You're hot or cold. You can be used to do stuff. You're
hot
lukewarm.
and
You're
you're
just like,
cold.
why are you here? So like, God's like, either love me or hate me. You know, choose one. Don't just like sit in the middle. And so I'm like, okay, I want my life obviously to be God's life. Like, it's not about me, it's about like giving God the glory. So there was people I had to like distance myself from because they were like not
Names. Drop.
No, don't do that.
because they were terrible influences. And so I went back to MIA because I knew Laley was a terrible environment for me. And I was like, all right, we need to like get my life back together. And then that year, I like made it my goal to become friends again with Marley. And I was like,
You made a very
because we
excellent
were like
decision.
we like were talking because she had her own group, I had my own group. You also scared me. I thought you were the scariest human being because I was like,
She wears black all the
She
She's
time.
has
so,
that
like,
side to her.
to me,
Trust
Marley
me.
was like this like such a pretty like popular girl. I'm like, there's no way like we're gonna be friends again because we like were friends and then we weren't friends. And so, but then we became friends again. And I saw like what she was like dealing with, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Heidi
so this
helped
is-
me change so much.
which is
Oh
so
my gosh.
insane to me to think that like that's a thing. Like you can help, I guess, talk to, and I still don't like. I don't get it.
She's one of like my biggest influences,
Which
like
is
ever.
just crazy.
That's the point in sharing stuff like that.
Right, I
too.
didn't realize, and so I realized, oh, I'm supposed to be like the light, like the salt of the earth, like we're
Oh,
supposed to
Heidi's helped us with everything.
push people, like talk to people about God.
Heidi's great.
So I knew Presley was like already a Christian. I knew Marley was like a Christian, like she was believing in God. But I was like, you were also dealing with a lot of crap at that time, and so I was like, here, how do I like be a loving person to Marley? And like seeing what she like, how she grew and stuff throughout those years, I was like, okay, clearly I need to like also grow, not just be steady or like I was like slowly growing, slowly not growing.
Stagnant.
Yeah.
Stagnant.
And so that's like 17, 18 years old.
Thank you. It's a good one.
And I was like definitely more living for God, still wasn't 100% there, I feel. And then 19 years old, I was like a New Year's resolution. I'm going to start reading my Bible, not like my physical Bible. And we weren't like in a church. There was like no churches to go to really. And I was like, so I grew as much as I could just like being at home, like with my Bible. And then January of this year, we started going to the church we go to now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've just grown extremely so much since then. So like, I tell people I was saved when I was 7. I don't think I truly started growing until I was like 17, 18.
I'm glad you mentioned that you did help other people out because you are full.
Well,
I
to
would
me,
say you are
it's
full
like-
of a lot of wisdom for this young of an age.
Yeah.
Thank you. I get told that all the time. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm like a 20-year-old. Like, what do I know?
You know a lot.
You have a lot of biblical wisdom.
Which is crazy.
You
to
taught
think.
me a lot of things that like I never even knew. Just about like being like a young adult. and
Because
just-
also, the whole thing is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why there's 1,000 different translations of the Bible. And there's a reason why so many people can get different things out of reading the Bible. You can look at a passage, like on Sunday. I never really thought about the story of Zacchaeus in the way that the pastor had put it out there. I had never thought about it that way. Pastor Jeff, yeah.
Pastor Jeff.
And there's a huge value in actually discussing it with people and just discussing anything because because people can get themselves in an echo chamber where they think of one thing in one way because they surround themselves with people who will only agree with them. And it's good to get differing opinions in there, because then the more that people learn to agree on things that they previously disagreed on, that's when we get closer to the truth. And so that's very important, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So
Also, just finding people that you're equally yoked with is very important. Very important. I mean, like, not that you'd be like, oh, I can't hang out with this person because they don't believe in God. Like, not at all. But, like, you're going to eventually be influenced by the people you surround yourself with. So, surround yourself with good people.
Well, not just that, but there's also the point of you might influence them.
Right, but
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
some people,
that's
they
very
refuse,
important.
they make their decision, they don't want to change for the better. And, like, there's at a point, I'm like, that's why I'm like, I had to, like,
Right.
stop
Well,
associating myself
so
with these
actually,
people.
I'm forgetting what pastor it was, but I've seen this reel pop up on my feed so many times recently. And he said, it's like, at no point, it's like, could you imagine if Jesus said, as he's carrying the cross, no, I'm done with you people. No matter how many times I've given you chances, you never stop. You ask for forgiveness, and then you go right back into what you're doing. I'm done. We do that a lot. And that's the whole thing. The thing is, we might give up on people, but the thing is, Jesus never gave up on anybody. In fact, his love never fails. And it never gives up. It never runs out on me. Your love. Now, so that's the way that I see it. But.
Yeah, no, and I definitely think, I mean, there's people that I haven't talked to in years. I still pray for them because I'm like, it would be really cool to be like, if they got saved. Like, one day
I love seeing people. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, the thing is, I am like, I want to see so many more people like that I know like get saved.
I love seeing people that like I knew from like middle school, and I just follow them on Instagram, and like, you know, you just see like they can get baptized and like they just like live their lives for Jesus, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know, it's just cool.
It is really cool.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Due to time restrictions on this
local
air television,
officially our second longest podcast.
They give a microphone.
This is now officially our second longest podcast.
Oh.
Behind the Christmas episode.
I was in that.
Yeah,
you were.
You know the 4-hour long one?
You saved the day.
I brought them snacks from 7-Eleven.
Okay, so that was your closing arguments.
Yeah, I don't have.
All right.
Hey, we could make it. We could make a 2-parter out of this.
We could.
50-minute each.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
the first half is me being.
Thank you so much for joining us on this in-person episode. Of the Pickle Jar Podcast.
The podcast.
I know I had tons of fun. Marley, do you have like 2-3 words to say to people at home? Anywhere that you want people to follow you? Anything that you want to shout out really quick?
You can follow my vlog channel. Like I said, I post vlogs on there.
Link in the doobly-doo.
It's going to be right here.
No, it's not.
No,
I can't put it there.
Down.
That's right, huh?
No, it's going to be in the description.
It's going there.
It's in the description.
It's under here right now. Hi. Okay.
Now, Heidi, anything that you want to shout out really quick?
No.
Okay. Kate,
Ryan.
where can people find us if they've listened to the podcast and they want more?
You want more of this podcast? Well, you have an excellent idea. I suggest that you scoot your little booty on down to Spotify, where you can find exclusive content on
Not just Spotify, but you can listen on iTunes.
Ooh.
You can listen on Amazon Music.
Amazon.
You can listen on Audible.
Oh.
You can listen on Google Podcasts.
Oh.
You can lison on Deezer.
Nope.
Deezer is another thing.
Deezer what? Deezer
Deezer podcast. Anyway. And then, of course, you can watch on YouTube. And we're going to have some more highlights coming up. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram, because we've got some cool reels that come out of little highlights of the audio episodes and stuff like that. So, with that being said, follow us on @the Pickle Jar Pod. on Facebook and on Instagram.
Yes,
With that being said, wave to the wide shot in the middle. So everyone, thank you so much for watching.
I've been Marley Wilson.
I've been Heidi.
I've been Ryan Sullivan.
And I've been Keaton Ashby.
Thank you for listening to this very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast.